Hi, my name's Tracy Thompson. I am best friends with Kendra, and she asked me to talk to you today about my handicap that I was born with. It is called PFFD, that stands for Proximal Femoral Focal Deficiency. And what that means is that my femur bones are only half the length that they should be. And my hip sockets and ball joints aren't developed completely, so whenever I walk, I have a sway to my gait. So, she wanted me to let you know, or just talk to you about what it was like for me growing up with my condition and how it's, I guess, kind of how it's affected me in my life. Um, I was going to start off when I was a baby. I have some pictures, if you'll bear with me. I wanted to show you these. This is the first one. This is me sitting on our coffee table, and you can see my feet just barely poking out of the bottom of my dress, so you can get an idea of how small my legs were. And this one up here is me standing up at the same coffee table, walking around it. And this one right here, as you can see, is me, and you can get a better idea of what my legs look like compared to where the diaper is and such on me. So these pictures, I was 1 or 2, I'm not sure what the age was. But I started walking when I was 3. My parents took me to specialists in Chicago, and they told them that I would never walk. They didn't know much about my condition, but they knew enough that they did not expect me to ever be able to walk. And luckily, my parents didn't listen, and they worked with me, and they knew that I would start walking eventually. And I mean, I was climbing all over everything and walking around everything, so they knew that eventually I would start walking. And like I said, when I was 3, I started walking. I I had braces when I was younger. After I first started walking, they did have me in braces, and I think that was more just to strengthen my legs as I was, getting started. So they just wanted to be safe. So I did walk with braces for a while, but I think by the time I was in school, I didn't have those anymore. So it was just for the first year or so that they had me in the braces until they knew that I'd be able to handle walking okay. So then. I started kindergarten, and in kindergarten I was about the same height as everybody else. But then everybody else started growing, and I stayed the same height. And I am 4'3", so yeah, so I've been pretty short my whole life. And I remember when I was in about 5th grade, I was starting to feel different, and I was starting to want to look like the other kids, be the same height as my girlfriends. So I started looking into different prosthetics that I could wear to make me taller. Um, I'm actually lucky that I have PFFD in both legs, because most people that have PFFD have it unilateral, and with only being in one leg, they usually have to go through either some kind of surgery to have the shorter leg lengthened, or they have to wear some kind of a prosthetic for the rest of their life so they'll be able to walk, or they just go their whole lives without walking. So considering I had it in both legs, I never had to go through anything like that. It wasn't until 5th grade that I started wearing prosthetics, but that was the only reason why, was because I wanted to try to be as tall as everyone else. I tried 3 different kinds, and I was the same height as everybody else, but I had to have assistance in walking. I had to use a walker because I didn't have good enough balance to be able to walk with those by myself, and it was too hard to get up if I fell. So I had to use a walker to help me walk, and it got to the point where I started feeling more different than I did already. And, by the time I was getting ready to go into middle school, I decided I didn't want to mess with that anymore. I would just rather be myself and just be my own height. And, you know, I knew school was going to be hard enough, and I didn't want to add anything to that. So I just went along on my own after that. it was tough, you know. I looked a lot different, and I love shoes, and I couldn't wear any kind of shoe I want, which really stunk because my right leg is actually 4 inches shorter than my left leg. So I have to have a 2-inch heel, 2-inch lift on my right shoe. So, you know, now I can have tennis shoes and I can have dress shoes and, you know, cuter styles, you know, but back then when I was younger, the only shoes you could get a lift was ugly, brown, hard-soled shoes. That was it. So all through high school, all through middle school, that's what I wore, ugly, brown, hard-soled shoes. In PE, I wore ugly, brown, hard-soled shoes. So that wasn't fun, but, you know, that's just how it is. So, you know, I went through school and you know, it really wasn't that bad. I mean, I had the kids that picked on me, but everybody has kids that pick on them, you know? Um, you know, my parents have always been awesome, and one thing that they always made sure to do was to not treat me any different than anybody else did. And my friends don't treat me and have never treated me any different than anybody else does. So, you know, even though, of course, I was aware that I was different, I never really felt like I was different. I just felt like I was me. I have another picture here. This is of me in high school. And you can, I've got shorts on so you can see how my legs looked a bit more there. My knees are actually up higher. I have knees, but they are like right here and right in here. So my knees are very high up. And so that's what they looked like back then. So, and that's what they look like now for the most part. But I went through high school and you know, had fun. I was in the choir, and Kendra and I were actually in choir together, and we were in Green Wave Singers, which was like the singing and the dancing group. So, you know, I did that, and it was a blast, and I loved it. And graduated high school, and then I met my husband Mike, and we've been together for 17 years now, and we've been married for 12 years. So he's pretty awesome. I love him a bunch, and you know, we have 2 little boys, and I've got a family picture here of all of us. This is from my oldest son. Sorry for the glare. You know what? I'm going to take this out. While I'm talking to you, I'm going to take this out. But my oldest son is 7. His name is Lucas. He is in 2nd grade. And this picture that I'm going to show you is actually from his t-ball game. And our youngest is named Patrick. He is 16 months, and he is a little firecracker, and he runs around and gets into everything, and he makes me very tired. And I wouldn't change a thing because I love him so much. He's just an awesome kid. So this will be a little bit better, I think. But right here, there's not so much of a glare that way, but there's my husband and Patrick and me and Lucas. So very sweet. I'm very lucky. When I gave birth to Lucas, it was all, you know, regular birth, you know, regular pregnancy, regular birth, nothing out of the ordinary. I had a vaginal birth, and everything went just fine, you know. You can ask Kendra. She was there. She could tell you about Lucas's birth. She was right there with me. Her and Mike were. Patrick's birth, it was a little tougher. He was more stubborn. He did not want to come out. So I ended up having to have a C-section with him. So that was a little tough, you know, for anybody. So getting back from that. But, you know, overall, my pregnancies and my births weren't any different than anybody else's. So I'm pretty thankful for that. And let's see what else about me. We go to First Baptist Church, love it there. I have a mom's group that I run from there. It's called MOPS. It stands for Mothers of Preschoolers. And I have another mom's group from there as well called Teen MOPS. And that's for teenage moms, 21 and under. and I coordinate both of those groups. So for the teen mops, we're kind of a support group for them. We teach them, basic skills they need for mothering and just taking care of themselves and being the best mom they can be. And it's a place for them to go and connect with other young moms, and a place that they can be where they don't feel like they're being judged. And I got some awesome young mommies in my group. I'm pretty proud of them. And then my regular MOPS group I love as well. And, it's a group for moms to just get away and get some time for themselves, and just to connect with other moms and make some friends. And it's tough, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom like I am. You stay home all day and you need somewhere to go to connect, and that's what we're there for. So I'm pretty proud of both of those groups. I never saw myself as a leader when I was younger. I think being through some life experiences I've been through, and being through, having a handicap on my life and having to overcome, judgment and just overall, well, for lack of a better word, ignorance of people. You kind of get a tough skin, and I think it's helped make me who I am today. If I had to give a piece of advice to you as nurses, I would say, when you encounter someone that has any kind of a physical disability or anything like that, don't treat them any differently. Don't treat them like they need they need to be I don't know, like babied or just treated any different than any other patient would be. They're just a regular person, and don't be afraid to ever be yourself, and don't be afraid to go out and do whatever you want to do with your life. And I think everybody's capable of greatness if they really put their mind to it. And I really want to thank Kendra for having me make this video. And I look forward to one day maybe coming to a class live. That way I can talk to her students personally, and then I get to see her too because I miss her. So, but thank you very much, and have a great day.